People enjoyed my video looking at how to write a good, strong female protagonist, so I thought, what if you actually wanted your protagonist to be despised by everyone, just so that you don't have to write a sequel? I managed to find 3 steps in the worst Marvel show to date, She-Hulk Attorney at Law. If you watched this show, do you remember what She-Hulk's goal was at the beginning of the show? If you don't, I don't blame you, because there really wasn't one. The closest thing we get to a personal goal is for Jen to become a lawyer. The problem with that is that we achieve this goal literally in episode 2. Okay, maybe she didn't have a physical goal, but she had to learn something and grow emotionally? Oh, she's exactly the same person at the beginning as she is at the end. Oh.
How interesting.
What makes it much more painful is that She-Hulk could have gone on a journey of self-development, but because the all-woman writing team wanted to show how much better women are than men, She-Hulk is instantly better at controlling her powers than Bruce because she's a woman and she gets catcalled. Totally worth it. So now, for the whole season, we have a character who won't grow because they are perfect. They achieve their personal goal by episode 2, but we still need a story to happen because the studio made you do 9 episodes. The only thing that She-Hulk wants that she doesn't get at first is to find a boyfriend. It's rather ironic that the best motivation that an all-female writing team could come up with was for a strong, perfect woman character to try and find a man.
How ironic.
If this was a rom-com, maybe I could pass that as a character goal, but this is supposed to be a superhero show. This lack of a goal then results in one of the most common traps for modern characters, where she becomes a static character. Wherever the plot needs her, that's where she will go. Episode 1, she crashes the car because the alien ship startled her, giving her the power. She loses her job because she got the powers. She gains her new job because she got the powers. She's made to defend Abomination by her job, and so on and so on. In every episode, something happens to her which forces her to continue the plot. So, step 1. Make sure your protagonist does not have the slightest hint of a character arc, and make sure they have no goals and do not actively impact the plot, but instead are a conscious passenger just like the audience. If I asked you to tell me what is special about Iron Man, you'd probably say that he's a multi-millionaire, genius, playboy, philanthropist, inventor. Or if I asked you who Puss in Boots is, you'd say a proud, cunning, sword-fighting cat with cute little boots and a hat. But if I asked you who She-Hulk is, or Jennifer Walters, what would you say? Maybe you'd remember that she is a lawyer and that she is a female Hulk. But what else about the type of character she is? That is the major problem with She-Hulk. She is just not unique. Her most noticeable ability is that she does what someone much more popular than her does, and she's a woman. Now, I know that the comic book fans are halfway through typing their comment about how she's so much different in the comics. The problem is, I can only base my opinions on what I see on the big screen. This even enlarges the problem, as they had a unique, interesting character already made, but just failed to convert them onto the screen. So step 2. Make them bland and give them no unique personality traits that the audience will remember them for. I know I previously said that the writers made She-Hulk perfect, but that is only in their eyes. Throughout the show, any normal person can see that she has countless flaws and annoying characteristics. However, the problem is, the show does not see them as flaws. Most of the time, they play them off as if they are good. For example, it is safe to say She-Hulk is not that bright. She's meant to be a good lawyer, but there are numerous times where she forgets about the simplest things, like the whole plot of her name being copyrighted. She should know this.
Get that moron off of there.
As previously stated, character flaws would be good if the character would have to grow to overcome them. However, in this show, Jen is shown to think to be super good at her job. We know this because of how often she complains about her male co-workers only getting their jobs because they are men. The ironic thing here being that she only got her job because of her superpower. However, the show fails to see that. Another trait of She-Hulk throughout the whole show is that she fails to take accountability for the few things that she does do. She does this when she complains about the guys that she chose to go on dates with. She does this when she hulks out when her private video is shown to her workers, resulting in her getting fired. And she even does this in the finale. This is made super ironic, as in the finale when, spoiler alert if you care, she makes Kevin rewrite the whole ending because she wants everyone to take accountability for their actions, despite not doing the same throughout the whole show. This is like making Iron Man's flaw of being selfish and self-centered a good thing. Imagine in Endgame, instead of finally putting others first, Tony decided to snap to teleport himself out of the fight to save himself, and then telling his daughter, people need to learn to sacrifice themselves for others to save the world, whilst we watch all the other heroes die fighting Thanos and his army. How stupid and ironic would that be? So step 3, make sure your protagonist has numerous flaws, but try and gaslight the audience into thinking that they are positive. Also, remember to try and push moral lessons that your character does not follow. Honestly, I do feel sorry for Tatiana, who played this disaster of a character because she had so little to work with, but she did try her very best, and I think it's a waste of a good actress. So, if you want to write the worst protagonist you can, make sure you don't make them stand out in any way, make them a passive character with no goals, and give them tons of flaws that you try pretend are good. And if you haven't watched the new Ant-Man yet, here's my quick review to see if it will waste your time on the left.